What's up? This is Hot New Hip Hop. You're watching Pivot Gang.
Pivot.
Okay, so Pivot Gang. Go back to, what year was that? 2011. Okay. It was pretty much the merge of two groups that already existed. We had hella songs together, like a lot, and there was a lot of people on all these songs. So we were like, we need a name because we don't want to write, Joseph Chilliams featuring 8 other people, So we were walking around looking for a name, and we had our first photo shoot, and it was cool. We took pictures. It was cute. But we went to a record shop in Wicker Park in Chicago, and I was like looking through the DVDs. They had cheap ass DVDs, like cheap as hell. And I'm a big fan of Friends, so I went and got this Friends season 1. It was like $3. That shit was love, because back then seasons was not $3. But we got it, and I ended up talking to the checkout, like everyone behind the desk, like at the counter. We had like a 20-minute conversation about Friends. And I was like, fuck, people really like this show. Like, I love this show, And went home that night and I wrote a rap. And I said, moving couches, call us the Pivot Gang. Like, this that Friends movement, moving couches, call us the Pivot Gang. And it was a very important scene in Friends when Ross was moving a couch and yelling pivot. And one of my favorite scenes. And that's pretty much how the name came about.
Like, watching everybody kind of come together and work on, their solo stuff. But for us, it's like when we're working on our solo stuff, it's kind of the same as when we're working on our stuff as a collective. Because we're just always, it's real hands-on. We always involved in each other's music. And just each other's life in general. With any tragedy, it's like, it takes a long time to kind of process. And I think that's what Chicago's in the process of doing, like processing what happened and mourning the loss of our cousin. I think it was, I don't know, it's like, it's one thing that I have been like fucking with and has been cool and like felt like the love. It's like you come to our sets and, obviously like we do our, John Walt tribute, and we doing, we got our moment of silence, we got our chants and everything like that. But what was cool to me was when I went to other people's set, like I went to a No Name set and she had a John Walt, like, like in Love and Memory, like, on the screen, and that shit was dope. And I went to a Superboy set and he had like a moment of silence. But it was just cool to see how many other, artists in the city were like that deeply affected by it and, show love and paid their respects. And, it's one of those things where I think it's still like we're kind of still processing it. So it's like really weird to, even talk about, for me at least. But it's, everybody in the city like loved them. Everybody knew them. Like Chicago, like we've been knowing each other since like 2011, 2012, just as artists. So it's been cool to see, like everybody that knew him was affected by that. It wasn't like we sad because Pivot sad. It was like if they knew us, they knew Walt.
Rory he's our publicist / manager. So Rory gets a lot of emails, and he tends to look at these emails and read these emails and reply to these emails while driving for like, fuck, he's looking at me. Anyways, we were driving, and we were like on a straight like road, like going 80 like for like 20 miles. And there's like this one stop sign, just like random as hell. And we're going way too fast to like even think about stopping. But it's like a big interstate. Like there's a car, the ongoing traffic doesn't have a stop sign. So it's like there's a fast car coming this way, and then Rory just like, phew, flies down the stop sign. But we're still safe, so yeah, that's my take on the tour bus.
Got enough space, so it's like we don't hate each other and nothing like that. You stay on your side, I'll stay on my side. We got anime. We got anime in there. Shout out Dylan because he got all of the anime on his computer. So we just hook it up, HDMI. Snacks. There's so many snacks. We just like when we go to our like shows, they give us like our tour rider and they got everything that we ask for. So after every show, we just take everything that we don't leave and gummy worms every night. But I'm thinking of changing, and let me know how y'all feel about this. I'm thinking of changing sour gummy worms to Welch's fruit snacks.
Ooh, okay. I see what you want.
Yeah. Okay. So second.
Yeah, so I'm dropping a project called Henry Church, because that's what Enrique Iglesias' name translates to in English. And it's gonna be really fucking great. It's gonna be like everything you expect it to be and more. And yeah, that's gonna be coming really soon.
Melodramatics. Melo not here yet. Melo get to the next tour stop. But yeah, he been working on his tape for damn near like a couple years, a nice minute. So his shit is sounding pretty luxurious, pretty epical. Big nigga raps. Yeah, we gotta drop a Pivot tape when Jimmy come home. So yeah, mandatory. So that'll be a thing. And then I don't know. I probably I'll do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But
Pivot.
some shit.
Challenge.